If you need wireless triggers for your off-camera flash that work long distances from your camera and offer a lot of flexibility in the functions they control, the Phottix Odin wireless TTL trigger set could be just what you're looking for. I'm Larry Becker, and today I'll give you a closer look and tell you about our experiences. The set I have is for Canon cameras and compatible speed lights, and it has eTTL and eTTL2 compatibility, as well as manual functions. Phottix also makes sets that work with Nikon and Sony Minolta models. First, we'll see what the set includes and how it works. We'll look at what you can control from the unit. Phottix says the Odin has a range of more than 300 feet. We'll test how it works from far away, as well as when the flash doesn't have line of sight to the camera. Finally, and maybe most important, we'll look at how reliably the trigger fires the flash. The Odin system includes a transmitter and 2 receivers. You'll also get 2 AA batteries for each unit and a variety of cables that let you sync to studio strobes, use external power, and update the set's firmware. The transmitter goes into the hot shoe on top of your camera. The receivers have hot shoes on top of them for your flash. And beneath, they have the 1/4-20 mounts for your tripod. The transmitter and receivers all have mini USB ports for computer connections when you do those firmware updates I mentioned earlier. For setting up your flash units, you have access to 4 channels and 3 groups for ratios and manual settings. You can mix TTL and manual flash. You have remote power control in A/B ratio modes with plus-minus EV adjustments up to 3 stops either way. This gives you complete control over your lighting setup. Also, the Odin has a high-speed sync up to 1/8,000th of a second, and it supports second curtain sync functions as well. Phottix calls the transmitter the Transmitter Control Unit, or TCU. And right on the back it has a big LCD screen with buttons beneath it that you use to make almost any adjustment to your flash that you might want. You can shoot in full manual mode with third stop adjustments and a zoom range of 25 to 105 millimeters. In TTL mode, the system can adjust the zoom automatically. This can be a huge convenience because you don't have to dig into your camera menus to make changes or see what they are. The LCD shows you exposure stop increments, TTL and manual modes for each of the 3 groups, A, B, and C, and other things in your flash menu. The LCD is backlit, so you can see it clearly even in low light. The receivers have switches for the 4 channels and the 3 groups, so it's easy for you to set up each receiver. And as I mentioned, you can use the Phottix Odin to trigger studio strobes. You might need an adapter to use the included cable to connect a receiver to the light, and the Odin will trigger strobes only in manual mode. No power control or other Odin functions will work. You'll also need to make sure that the optical slave is turned off for your studio strobe. Instead of infrared light, the Odin system uses a 2.4 GHz radio signal to communicate. This does a couple of things. First, it significantly increases the set's range. Phottix says that the Odin should work with the transmitter and receiver about 300 feet apart. We didn't drive to a local football field to measure the exact distance when we tried it, but it worked from what appeared to be at least 300 feet. Second, because these are radio triggers, you don't need the line of sight between the transmitter and the receiver for the signal to get through. This opens a lot of options for where you can put flashes when you shoot. If you shoot on any kind of set, you can hide your flash behind a prop and it'll still get its signal. We tried it with the flash in another room and held the camera with the Odin trigger behind another wall, and it still fired the flash every time. That reliability and range, along with the controls right on the transmitter, will make the Phottix Odin wireless TTL trigger set really popular among photographers who need wireless triggers for off-camera flashes. For B&H and Kelby One, I'm Larry Becker. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.